Oh, we're live! I can't believe it.
Awesome.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. Well, I'm gonna mute you just for a minute here so you don't interrupt me. Um, and I'm gonna throw up my little stuff so people can know who I am since I prepared. So there I am. So I'm Dan Wegner. I had to put it up so I could read it. I'm Dan Wegner, and I am the founder and president of Traffic Resources International. And I put out a preview earlier, and it was really, I thought it was a great preview because it basically said this. It said, stop marketing. Stop doing all the marketing stuff that you're doing. But there's a caveat, and it says, stop marketing until you can begin to measure the success of your marketing. Why go out and spend money and spend your time and your energy for marketing efforts that may or may not be successful? If they're not successful, then you got to stop them. If they are successful, do a lot more. Spend that money. If you're getting a great ROI, then dump more money into that marketing efforts. But the question is, how can you know whether or not your marketing is successful? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to show you an amazing tool, and the tool is phenomenal. I mean, it's like a marketer's dream come true. So, as you may know, I've created a product called Just4.Mobi, and Just4Mobi was designed to primarily help retail businesses, people who marketed using things like Groupon or uh, Living Social, Amazon, the local ones through the newspaper and things like that. But they were unable to, they get all this traffic in, and then would they come back again, and all this stuff. And our tool can help you measure that to know if, what's the good of bringing in a bunch of people through Living Social or Groupon if they never come back again. We can track that. We can also look at your competition. What's your competition doing? Are they being more successful than you? What are their hot days of activity and unbelievable things like that? And then finally, we can look at our customers. What days do our customers come in? What are their average ticket item price? How much revenue are we generating? How far away are they coming from? All this kind of stuff. And it's really an amazing tool. And today, with me, I have a guest. His name is Brad Ganser, and he is from Ignite Payments of Maple Grove. That's at www.ignitemn.com. And there he is, and he's gonna talk today about the product. He's the one bringing us the product. He showed me this product. He told me about it. He sent me over a screen capture. I'm like, what? You can't do that. You can do that. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. If you think you can't do this stuff, the reality is you can do it. Hey, Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Dan. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really excited. I finally got to see your product today in all its glory, and I am blown away. And you know what? I'm gonna drive because I like the power and the control. And now, can you see that properly?
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is part of the dashboard. This is a weekly recap, and what we're looking at a demo right now of some demo data of the product, because of course we won't want to show anybody's live data. So we're showing some demo data of the product, but I think this is really phenomenal. Can you tell me a little bit about this product and where it came from, and how long it's been out there, and maybe a little later we'll talk about where it's going. But let's right now try to give me a little background on this product.
A little bit of background on Insightix, that's the name of the product, is as a wholly owned subsidiary of First Data, we have a huge and enormous collection of aggregate data from literally half of the transactions that happen in the country. And we've always struggled on how we can monetize that and use that for the betterment and the growth of the folks that we work with. One of our separation pieces that we talk about is most folks think that we just provide quality processing, help folks turn their plastic into cash. with our position in the marketplace, we want to do so much more. We want to be a partner to businesses and help them grow. So having that quandary and having all of this data, we were finally able to create a way that we could stream that out in a cloud-based solution to help businesses use the data that they have versus aggregate data, demographic data within their region, their neighborhood, their zip code, to be able to compare not only how they're doing against other folks, but also how they're doing with their own customers. As you mentioned, a lot of folks have problems in business measuring the results of their efforts. And I love the fact that you say, until you can measure it, stop. Because if you can't measure it, you're literally wasting money. You're throwing it out the window. So what this tool does is it compares to where you've been, where your customers are coming from, where they're at, and it helps quantify specifically where your different efforts are occurring, and you can then create the return on investment, the ROI, based on what you've done.
Great. So the cool thing is here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a tour. And the reason why I think if I do the tour, how impressive it's going to be, because literally I got access to this maybe a couple hours ago, spent some time looking at it, then said, oh my gosh, everybody I know has to see this. And so I've spent like 15 minutes in this product, and I think I have a really good handle on it, and we'll see. And then you just yell at me if I do something stupid, okay?
I will.
Okay, thank you. I know that you're a good friend and you always yell at me when I do stupid things. So I just clicked this button and I never clicked on it before. Oh, that's this current week, and we don't have any data because it's Monday. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at the recap from last week, and what we have here is 3 key pieces of information: our ticket size, and we can compare that to previous weeks, and we've got our new customers, and again we can compare that, and then the returning customers. So those are really 3 pieces of key data to see how our marketing's going. Right now in this little recap, we see that everything went down from the previous week. So this could be driven by a lot of factors, but any insights into this you want to share, Brad?
Well, not necessarily at this point. What I will point out, though, is right below your the wheel there, where it says $41,000, you can set your own business goal each week. So if you click the set goal,
nice,
and you can set that up based on the week you're at, and because obviously we don't, summer months for certain businesses are a lot busier than winter months, so you can adjust it on a weekly and a monthly basis, based specific to the calendar.
Nice, and then this circle shows how much of our goal we were able to attain. So that's really neat. Just FYI, so this is a weekly recap. We could look at a monthly recap, and so it's giving, and then we've got these little feedback items and stuff like that. That's wonderful. So and then we can of course look at yearly. But let's go back to weekly here. Now what I want to do is I want to look at my store. Okay, so I want to see what's happened this week, or actually we're looking at a month right now. We're view by months, so these are August, September, but we want to maybe view by days, and then we also want to not have such a large segment. Maybe I just want to look at maybe the last week and a half here. Okay, so I was able to go down there and shrink my time period, and now I thought this was phenomenal. So for instance, one of your customers, Brad, and a place I love to go to, they have a big, huge outdoor patio. And what I noticed is right here at the bottom of each day, it's actually showing me the weather for that day, and whether we had rain and stuff like that. And I thought that was really an amazing little addition to the information that I would want to, I want to know that. I want to know, how does the weather affect my business? So that was really cool. So here we see on Sunday I did this customer did 13,000 and 5,000, and we can see that we had thunderstorms, so that would maybe explain why the people didn't come out that day and stuff like that. I just think that's wonderful. So here I've clicked on the 21st. Up here I can see that it's 82 degrees, this is all great information to help me understand what's going on. And I've got a little note here, by the way. So I'm running a Facebook campaign here. 15% for customers that like us. And we talked a little earlier, Brad, about the fact that we could actually use Facebook targeting to target certain market segments. And so why don't you talk a little bit about how how would someone use that data, this data that we're looking at on this note? Give us a little insight into that.
Okay. Well, businesses do a variety of campaigns. Obviously, with what we discussed earlier, you can target down to zip codes in Facebook. And one of the things that I've struggled with, and I know a lot of the business owners that we talk to on a daily basis struggle with, is how do you quantify your results and your successes in social media? So what we can do with a particular note like this in a particular Facebook campaign is we can measure week over week results. If we're doing a Facebook campaign into a certain zip code, we can track those results based on prior weeks versus current weeks to see if there's an increase. And one of the things one of the tabs that you'll be getting to a little bit later on is we'll be able to drill down right into that zip code and show you where show the merchant where folks are coming from. Actual
Wow.
mapped out data where the individuals using their credit card are stopping into your location.
That just blows me away. So here we're looking at data. Right now we're looking at revenue. We can look at the number of transactions per day. That's great. And of course, ticket size. So average ticket size for any given day. So that's really useful information. Up here we can compare from myself last year, so I can say how I did on the same week, because especially in restaurants, it's really based on the week before Christmas, or those are really hallmark times. And if you can do a year-over-year comparison, that can be really useful to see how your business is growing. Now this is interesting here. So similar businesses in my area. So tell me a little bit about this data, and who are these similar businesses?
Okay, the similar business line is directly tied to MCC codes, industry types. For instance, if this was a Chinese or a Mexican restaurant, we can literally tie that and compare it to those lines of similar ethnic restaurants within a neighborhood or a marketplace. For instance, in the Twin Cities, we can show how you compare to other restaurants of same type.
Wonderful, man. That's amazing. I mean, what amazing data. And now me being the kind of the corporate espionage kind of guy, if I find that that I'm not doing very well compared to my competition, like here on Saturday, I didn't do very well. Maybe I'd go out and look at other restaurants in the area and see what maybe one of those restaurants really pushed that number up, and maybe I can glean something from their marketing efforts and start implementing into my marketing tools.
Well, it's important to note, Dan, that this is aggregate data. We're not going to be able to, because of privacy laws, show you what the big restaurant around the corner is doing.
Excellent. But I still think that you might be able to use that information. So let's look at people here. So here let's go back a week here. So now I'm looking at the week of June 22nd to the 28th, so last week. And so this first box, tell me a little bit about this box.
Well, that's just simply going to tell you where your customers come from. Do they, are their credit cards registered in zip codes that are 5 miles or less away, between 5 and 15, between 15 and 20, and obviously more. And as we move through the tabs, we'll show you those, that mapped out.
Wow. I mean, isn't that, to me, that just seems like amazing data to have regarding where they're coming from. Am I making a strong appeal to my local customers, or in this case, it looks like maybe the customers are tourists in the area or something like that? Would that be something that you might glean from that data?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. It's the data speaks for itself, and that's as business owners, you just want to have the right information to make great decisions.
Right. This is the one that interests me, this box here, how frequent they visit. You and I, we've talked a lot about my product, Just for Moby, and how that reaches out and makes sure that people come back again. Especially if they're using something like Groupon or Living Social, why not also uh, drag them into your Just For campaign so that you can keep marketing them over and over again, giving them the same deal that brought them in the first time to bring them back over and over again, but this time not having to spend all that money or give away all those dollars to Groupon or Living Socials. So this is amazing, though. 98%. Is that typical?
Well, that's not typical, and I'm with you, Dan. This is my favorite box within the site because it really shows how well you keep and retain customers. I would say, first of all, that looking at this graph, this company does not use Just For at all. Most businesses spend a lot of money. You mentioned Groupon. Restaurants invest heavily in deeply in spending marketing dollars to get new customers in the door. What other restaurants, for instance, tell us, and other retail, for instance, tell us, is that once we get them in the door, it's our opportunity to make a customer for a repeat customer, and that's really where you make your money in business is getting them to come back.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I love that. I think I think this is really the heart and soul of marketing, since how difficult it is to get a first-time customer compared to keeping a customer, acquiring a customer versus retaining customer. So yeah, so it's not just about service, it's about being front of mind and things like that too. So.
One more comment on that box, Dan. You do
Yep.
have the interval for that box checked on weekly. If you could just show me what it says for annually.
Okay. Good. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So that interval is going to be, obviously, if you're a coffee shop, you might get repeat customers every day. But if you're a fancy restaurant, maybe people come in once a month or something. So. Great, useful stuff. Thank you. What else we got here? So we got locals versus non-locals versus new versus returning. So if we were looking at locals, that might skew that data some. Yeah. And then so what else do we have down here? Times with highest revenue. Oh, great. So let's go ahead and switch back to all. So Saturdays are a big day at this restaurant. For revenue, but Fridays has a lot of transactions. So that sounds like maybe people are buying French fries and cheap beers or something on Friday. I don't know. But they're going hog wild on Saturday. Great.
What a great tool to help with staffing too.
Right. Oh yeah, because they got the hour button too, so I can see. Oh wow. So excellent. So on I know that 7 p.m. is a big day, and that Saturday is a big day. So great. Or the time's a big time. I'm sorry. What was that? 7 o'clock is the busiest time of the whole day, and Saturday's the busiest day. Great. Wonderful. Yes. Staffing for sure. Same with transactions. Great. And this actually might be more useful. This tells you really how many people you got in the door, it looks like. So. All right. What else we got? Transaction metrics. Wow. So I can look through my days here. I can see revenues. Okay. Average ticket size. Great. Oh, that's really useful stuff too. So cool. I want to go to this next one. I'm excited to see this one. All right. Ooh, I like this. So I'm looking at where customers spend over the month, and this is a map of the neighborhood here, or the kind of a larger area. So, and I can zoom in and out. That's kind of useful. Okay, and the red is the hot areas. So those are the places that are visited most. And here's my location, or the location of this this vendor. Wow. So this is where they're spending money.
Each one of these hexagons would represent a restaurant in the area, a similar business.
Wow. Okay, we can see some people travel all the way down to Shoeyville. So nice. That's amazing data, and then you can kind of identify. Are you in the center of all your? Are people traveling across through other locations to get to you? And here we can see we're pretty centrally located, so people come here. Great. What else we got here? Where customers live. Okay. Oh, wow. That's really useful data there. So these people are coming all the way across to come spend money.
Yeah, now this one is specific to your location, your retail business.
Yep.
So these are all these hexagons are where your customers are coming from.
Okay, so we see people all the way down in Iowa City coming up to spend money at our location. So we can see if we did this would be great for that Facebook targeting. So we're targeting by a zip code, and we say, maybe we target an area that's, Iowa City, to see if we can bump these colors up, make more red show up down there. Truly amazing. Well, that's great. So,
well, and a lot of retail will often they'll do mail drops. I think in our market we have something called Value Pack.
Value Pack, yep.
Where they drop coupons and advertising by zip code. What a awesome way to drill down and see exactly what neighborhoods, what zip codes are coming in and responding week over week, month over month, versus the different types of advertising, the different message you might employ. Really have the opportunity now to drill down and see how your marketing is worked, like few other tools available in the marketplace.
I mean, if you wanted to get this data some other way, you'd have to, you basically have to do surveys of your customers when they come in the door. I don't know how else you'd get this data.
And it's tough to survey your customers when they don't come in the door.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. Wow. And then finally we have bookmarks, and can you help me understand this one? I didn't understand fully what this does.
Well, what the bookmark is back in one of the previous tabs where you had the ability to put notes into the computer. You talked about one being weather. The restaurant that you referenced also is affected by sporting events in the Twin Cities. So the merchant will use the notebook tab in the upper right-hand corner to track when, for instance, Twins games are occurring.
Oh, right.
Or they've also tracked when they've put new sales managers in place. When they've got a couple local bartenders who are kind of celebrities and have a following, and they've tracked that as well to see, is there a measurable difference in bringing these guys in, or maybe even paying them more money and to get them in the door as a potential employee.
And I see here we can add a note category, I guess. So Facebook campaign, staff change. We had a sale. This is great, and so apparently we can control that through our through some aspect of our tool here. This is great.
Right now, it's that list is not editable as of yet. The coming versions are going to add a couple pieces that are in beta test right now.
Wonderful. I love that. So yeah, so I added a Twins game. Let me go ahead and do that. So say it's a Twins game. And I don't know the schedule, but let's say there's a Twins game. I think there's one Saturday, so there'd be nothing there. And great. So now I've added that for that time.
And to tie it together, Dan, when you bookmark certain events like that, your dashboard will tell you, it'll specifically grab that bookmark and it'll give you intuitive data on your dashboard when you log in.
That's great. That's great. Well, Brad, I'm super impressed with it, as I said at the beginning, because I think this is what every retailer needs, not just restaurants, but also, you know, anyone who gets traffic in the door and they want to know if their marketing, if their promotions, staffing changes, and how that affects everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we're super excited about this, Dan. This, you know, it's really a game-changing tool, and for folks that are serious about growing their business and being, you know, good in business, what a great way at a very low price point to be able to, you know, get some good peace of mind at night knowing what's working and not working when you're writing the checks. And there's not much better that we found at this point.
That's great. Well, here's your website, and I don't know if people can read this up in the corner. So why don't you give your number, how they can get a hold of you, anything else you want to share about this product and your services?
Well, several, you know, we're very accessible. Phone number, main line here is 763-367-6770. You can meet us at ignitemn.com. Simply log on and use the contact us, and that'll hit us up, and we'll give you a call back. Or you can email us at info@ignitemn.com, or my email is brad@ignitemn.com.
Wonderful. So obviously your website's got all that data on it, all that information. Anything else you want to tell us that you might, you know, one thing we didn't talk about is price. I look at this kind of tool and I say, you know, you're probably talking $200 to $300, maybe up to $500 a month. What can a person expect to pay for this tool?
When you process with us, there's, you know, we're never going to have you pay more. Being a wholly owned subsidiary of the platform, the interchange provider, that's technical language, the credit card processor, gives us a huge opportunity to be competitive. The program Insightix is an add-on for $29.99 a month.
$2,900?
$29.99 a month.
Well, I knew that, but I just think that's amazing. I mean, this is the kind of, seriously, if you were getting any other kind of data of this quality, of this usefulness, the companies would be holding you over the fire, extracting every last penny out of you. And I think that's really exciting that First Data and Ignite Payments is making this available for such an affordable price. Folks, if you're watching this and you don't know where your customers are coming from, you don't know what your competition is doing and how effective they are, you don't know what your reach is, what your audience, and you don't know if your Facebook marketing, your in-store promotions, your radio ads, your TV ads, your staffing changes, all those, you don't know how they're impacting your bottom line directly, you need to get a hold of this product, and I recommend that you give Brad a call right away. Don't wait. When you see this, jump on board. He'll help you sort out all the details, get it integrated with whatever needs to be integrated. He's an expert. He's been doing this for a long, long time, and he's a personal friend of mine, and I know that he will take care of you. He's a stand-up guy and one of my favorite people to work with in the whole world. So, Brad, I really appreciate you coming on this call and sharing this unbelievable tool. Again, people, jump on, get a hold of this. It will change your business. Thanks. Talk to you later, Mr. Gans, man.
Dan, thank you. I appreciate the kind words, and I look forward to helping anyone grow their business.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. And so we got under a little more than 35 minutes. Again, give Brad a call, 763-367-6770. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.